Puberty, that awkward stage of life we all must face, kicks off when the brain, the body's ultimate control center, signals the body to produce more hormones. This is a pivotal juncture, a threshold that all human beings cross, marking the transition from boyhood to manhood. This process is sparked by an intricate communication system between the brain and the body, a dialogue of internal commands and responses. The brain, acting much like a conductor of a grand orchestra, sends out a distinct message. This message is a command, urges the body to start producing additional hormones. These hormones, microscopic yet crucial, are like secret agents in the bodies of growing boys. They have a key role that's unseen but is incredibly impactful. They travel through the bloodstream, reaching every corner of the body, influencing everything from the voice's pitch to the rate of body hair growth. This hormonal surge, a kind of biochemical tsunami, leads to the multitude of physical and emotional changes boys experience during puberty. Physical changes can range from a sudden growth spurt, facial and body hair growth, deepening of the voice, to more muscle development. Emotional changes might include a heightened sense of self-consciousness, mood swings, and a new, more intense awareness of one's own feelings and those of others. Yet within this whirlwind of changes, it's important to remember that these alterations are part of a natural process that every boy goes through. These transformations, though sometimes overwhelming, are vital steps on the journey to manhood, shaping the boys into the men they will one day become. This is the fascinating, complex, and at times challenging process of puberty, a journey that begins when the brain signals the body to produce more hormones and ends with the various physical and emotional changes boys experience during puberty. One of the most noticeable changes during puberty is the sudden growth spurt. This significant transformation, which is part of the journey from adolescence to adulthood, often comes as a surprise to many young individuals. This phase of development is of paramount importance as it sets the foundation for the physical stature of a person in their later years. During this crucial time, an astounding metamorphosis takes place within the human body. A cascade of hormones is responsible for the dramatic acceleration in growth, and it's a phenomenon that can be both exciting and at times a little scary. The body, which has grown at a gradual pace for years, suddenly appears to be in a race against time, stretching and expanding at an unprecedented rate. Primarily in boys, these changes can be quite easily observed. They experience a rapid increase in height, often growing up to 3 inches in a single year. This acceleration of growth is anything but uniform. Some parts of the body, in fact, seem to have a mind of their own, growing at a pace that far outstrips the rest. Among these are the feet and hands, which often grow at a much faster rate compared to the rest of the body. This disproportionate growth is due to the unique growth plates present in the long bones of the hands and feet, which are some of the last areas to mature and hence grow faster. This phenomenon can lead to some awkward and clumsy movements due to the sudden size change, but it's a normal part of development that every individual undergoes. And while it may not always feel like it in the moment, these changes do eventually even out over time, leading to the proportionate adult form. Boys can grow up to 3 inches a year, with their feet and hands growing faster than the rest of their body. The voice box, or larynx, grows during puberty, causing the voice to deepen. This remarkable transformation is a key part of growing up, an integral piece of the intricate puzzle of adolescence. But this change doesn't occur in a blink. It's an evolution that takes its time, slowly and stealthily progressing as the body matures. Just as the moon pulls the tides, so too does puberty pull at the fibers of the larynx, stretching them, expanding them, giving the voice new depth, new resonance. It's a physiological symphony, a concert played out within the body, invisible to the naked eye, yet so profound in its impact. This is a puberty rite of passage, as inevitable as the dawn of a new day. However, this transition does not come without its trials. There may be days when your voice wavers, fluctuating between pitch levels like a fledgling bird learning to sing. It might break, it might crack, it might even hit notes that you didn't know existed. This can be disconcerting, even embarrassing at times, but it's just the body finding its rhythm, tuning its instrument, refining its song. Each voice crack is a signpost on the journey, a testament to the body's continual adaptation to its new form. These are not errors or mishaps, but part of the body's process of adjusting to the changes that puberty brings. These voice cracks are the audible echoes of change, reminders that the body is in a state of constant, dynamic evolution. This doesn't happen overnight though, and you might experience a few voice cracks along the way. During puberty, hair begins to grow in new places, such as the face, underarms, and the pubic area. It's a fascinating and somewhat bewildering time in the life of every adolescent. The body starts to undergo numerous changes, each of them a unique marker in the journey from childhood to adulthood. One of these markers is the growth of hair in regions that were previously smooth and hair-free. This isn't just some random occurrence or a sudden change that happens overnight. It's a gradual process, often beginning with a few stray hairs before progressing to a more notable growth. One day, a teenager might look in the mirror and see a single hair sprouting on their upper lip, and before they know it, they're browsing through razors and shaving creams at the store. While it might seem unusual, it's a perfectly normal part of the human life cycle. This hair growth signifies the maturing body and the shifting balance of hormones that accompanies puberty. It's a testament to a complex and intricate biochemical process, each step carefully calibrated and timed by the body's natural rhythms. These hormones, which we will discuss further, are the maestros conducting this puberty symphony. They signal the body to commence these transformations, dictating the tempo and intensity of the changes. And it's not just hair growth they command. These hormones also trigger voice changes, height spurts, mood swings, and many other elements of puberty. But as bewildering and rapid as these changes may seem, they are all just part of the journey towards maturity. Every adolescent experiences them in their own way, at their own pace. It's a unique personal experience that signifies the transition from the carefree days of childhood to the responsibilities and challenges of adulthood. This is all thanks to those hormones we mentioned earlier. As youngsters transition into adolescence, a period popularly known as puberty kicks in. This is the stage where a young person's biology takes a significant shift, and it's characterized by an increased production of oil and sweat. It's during this time that the skin's sebaceous glands go into overdrive, producing an excess of sebum. This substance, a natural oil, is meant to keep the skin moisturized and protected. However, during this period of bodily change, the skin can become excessively oily. Paired with the increase in sebum production is the enhanced perspiration rate. With puberty, hormonal changes bring about an elevated sweat production. Children generally do not sweat as much, but as they approach the adolescent stage, their sweat glands become more active. This increase in sweat can contribute to making the skin more prone to acne breakouts. Acne is a common companion of puberty, an unwelcome guest that tends to make its appearance during this period. It's a skin condition that manifests as pimples, blackheads, and even as painful cysts. Often, it's the result of pores being clogged by oil, dead skin cells, and bacteria. The increased oil and sweat production during puberty makes the skin more susceptible to acne. However, it's not a hopeless situation. As a matter of fact, knowing how to maintain good hygiene can play a pivotal role in managing these skin conditions. Regularly washing your face removes the excess oil and sweat, reducing the chances of blocked pores. Good hygiene practices include using mild and non-comedogenic skin cleansing products that don't irritate the skin. Moreover, adopting a balanced diet and drinking plenty of water can also help in maintaining a healthy skin. While these changes in the body are a common part of puberty, remember that understanding and maintaining good hygiene can significantly help manage it. Boys tend to gain muscle during puberty thanks to an increase in testosterone. This hormonal shift is a natural part of growing up, a biological process that every male goes through as they transition from childhood to adulthood. The testosterone surge is paramount in shaping their bodies, molding them gradually into a more mature, stronger version of themselves. This period of life is often met with significant changes, both physically and emotionally. Aside from the obvious growth spurts and voice deepening, one of the most noticeable transformations is the increase in muscle mass. This isn't merely a cosmetic change though. It's highly functional, enabling boys to perform tasks that require more strength and endurance. It's a remarkable process that reflects the beauty and complexity of human biology and development. This testosterone-fueled growth extends beyond just physical changes. It also significantly impacts their interests and hobbies. This is the stage where many discover a natural inclination towards physical activities and sports. Whether it's football, basketball, swimming, or weightlifting, this newfound strength and endurance often lead boys to explore different sports. The thrill of competition, the camaraderie among teammates, the discipline of training, all these factors contribute to this growing interest. In essence, puberty in boys is a transformative journey marked by significant physiological and psychological changes. It's an intriguing stage of life, filled with exploration, growth, and discovery. This is also the time when many boys become more interested in physical activities and sports. Puberty isn't just about physical changes. It's an intricate process that goes beyond what is visible to the naked eye. In this grand scheme of adolescence, hormones play a pivotal role. They essentially serve as the maestros of this orchestra of changes, conducting, balancing, and fine-tuning the symphony of transformation. But these hormones aren't just responsible for external changes such as voice deepening or growth spurts. They impact far more than just our physical appearances. These minute yet powerful chemicals also have a profound influence on our mental and emotional states. They can cause feelings to fluctuate rapidly and sometimes inexplicably, making the journey through puberty a roller coaster of emotions. From one moment to the next, the world can seem like a dramatically different place. Many teenagers experience periods of heightened sensitivity, where emotions can feel more intense than ever before. This can lead to an increased propensity for emotional reactions and a decreased ability to regulate these reactions. A typically easygoing teenager might suddenly seem irritable or overly sensitive. These mood swings and emotional changes can be disconcerting for both the adolescents experiencing them and the adults around them. The influences of hormones on our feelings are complex and intricate. They can evoke intense joy as easily as they can trigger profound sadness. Their impact on our emotional landscape during puberty is as significant as their effect on our physical growth. Understanding these emotional changes is just as important as understanding physical growth during puberty. The balance of hormones can be delicate, and any disruption in that balance can lead to changes in mood and behavior. Therefore, it's crucial to not just focus on the physical aspects of puberty, but to also pay attention to the emotional side of this journey. Hormones can also affect emotions, leading to mood swings and increased sensitivity. Have you ever heard of a teenage boy's legendary appetite? It's a phrase that often gets thrown around in conversation, causing many to chuckle at the seemingly insatiable hunger of these growing individuals. But there's actually a lot more to it than simple hunger. It's a fascinating biological process that ties directly into the period of life known as puberty. During the teenage years, the body undergoes a massive transformation. It's far more than just a growth spurt. The body reshapes and remolds itself, as if it were clay in the hands of a skilled artist. New muscles begin to form, bones lengthen, and the mind itself begins to expand and mature. All these changes require an incredible amount of energy, and the body turns to food to satiate this demand. Imagine the body as a machine running on a potent fuel. The more it works, the more fuel it requires. During puberty, the body's work rate increases exponentially. It's as if the machine has been kicked into overdrive. This increased activity leads to a spike in appetite, as the body seeks to replenish its dwindling energy reserves. Now let's bring it back to the teenage boy. His body, running on this high-octane puberty fuel, requires a constant inflow of energy. Every cell, each organ, the whole system is crying out for more to keep up with the relentless demand for growth and change. This is where the legendary appetite comes into play. It's the body's way of ensuring it has enough energy to fuel its rapid growth and development. The brain, that marvelous engine of thought and consciousness, undergoes significant changes during the tumultuous stage of life known as puberty. This transition between childhood and adulthood is not only a time of physical transformation, but also a critical period of mental development. In the mysterious recesses of the brain, a flurry of activity takes place. Neurons fire and wire together, constructing complex networks that enable thought, learning, and behavior. As we delve deeper into the intricacies of this process, it's awe-inspiring to realize that these changes are particularly concentrated in specific areas. These areas, often referred to as the prefrontal cortex, are the command centers for critical cognitive functions. They are the hubs of decision-making, the architects of problem-solving skills, the curators of our personality traits, and the chief conductors of our emotional responses. During puberty, these regions of the brain are like a construction site, bustling with activity. They are being remodeled, rewired, and refined to enhance their functionality. This remodeling process is essential for the development of advanced cognitive abilities that will support us through adulthood and beyond. It's truly fascinating to explore the complex dynamics of brain development. The more we learn, the more we realize how these changes shape our behavior, our cognition, our very identities. So next time you ponder over the mysteries of the human brain, remember that it's not just an organ, it is a dynamic, ever-changing landscape, especially during those turbulent years of puberty, when it's working tirelessly, crafting the framework for our decision-making and problem-solving skills. Puberty, a pivotal and unique period in life, doesn't last forever. It's a biological process, a stepping stone between childhood and adulthood, taking up a significant portion of one's adolescent years. This transition period typically starts between the tender ages of 9 and 14, presenting itself as an unexpected guest, uninvited and unexpected. During this time, both boys and girls experience a variety of physical changes that mark the journey into adolescence. These changes run the gamut from a growth spurt, deepening of voice in boys, development of breasts in girls, to the commencement of menstruation in females and sperm production in males. Essentially, puberty is the point in life when a child's body begins the transformation into that of an adult. Despite the awkwardness and unpredictability, puberty is also a time of discovery. It's when individuals start to understand their bodies better, become more aware of their identities, and embark on the path of self-discovery. It's a time filled with exploration, curiosity, and a fair share of wonder. But puberty is not just about physical change. It coincides with significant cognitive and emotional development. Adolescents start thinking about their future, their goals, and their place in the world. They begin to grapple with complex emotions, balance peer pressure, and navigate the intricacies of human relationships. However, the reality is, the journey of puberty is not a straightforward path. It's a roller coaster ride of highs and lows, filled with moments of self-doubt, confusion, and emotional turmoil. But remember, it's a phase of transformation and growth, and just like any other phase in life, it doesn't last forever. As tumultuous and challenging as it might be, puberty does thankfully have an end point. It usually lasts until the late teens or early 20s. It may seem like an eternity when you're going through it, but rest assured, it passes. Its conclusion denotes the emergence from the cocoon of adolescence, resulting in the beautiful butterfly of adulthood. To summarize, male puberty is a roller coaster ride of physical and emotional changes, driven by hormonal shifts. This period of life is marked by an array of adjustments and transformations which can be both exciting and daunting. It's an era characterized by growth spurts and deepening of the voice changes that herald the onset of adulthood. New hair appears in areas previously devoid of it, a phenomenon that can sometimes take young boys by surprise. Acne, a customary companion of puberty too, makes its unwelcome debut. The increase in muscle mass is another prominent feature, giving boys a more defined physique. The hormonal turbulence also triggers mood swings, adding an emotional dimension to the physical changes. The roller coaster doesn't stop here though, as an increased appetite often accompanies this period. The surge in hunger is generally attributed to the body's demand for nutrients to sustain the rapid growth and development. But the physical puberty also ushers in significant brain development, altering the way boys perceive and respond to their surroundings. This phase may seem unending, and at times, but rest assured, puberty does eventually come to an end. So, there you have it, a comprehensive overview of male puberty. It's a complicated, occasionally perplexing, but ultimately essential phase of life. And remember, everyone's experience with puberty is unique, so don't worry if your journey doesn't mirror that of your peers. Remember, you're not alone, and you're doing just fine. We hope you've learned something new from this in-depth look at male puberty. If you did, why not show your appreciation by giving this video a thumbs up? Your likes really do make a difference and help us continue to create content like this. But the conversation doesn't end here. We'd love to hear your thoughts, experiences, or any questions you might have. Just drop them in the comment section below. And of course, if you haven't already, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and press the bell icon. This way, you'll be the first to know when we release new videos. And lastly, if you found this video informative or helpful, why not share it with friends and family? You never know who might benefit from understanding more about the changes that come with puberty. So go ahead, click that share button. Remember, knowledge is power, and sharing it only makes us stronger. Thanks for tuning in.